what I do.
I mean, it's video games for a living. That's got to be really cool.
I can't imagine what that feels like.
My dad. It felt like that.
Some days, yes, it does.
Third person, fantasy, dystopian.
A horror game.
Wait, third person? Where? What? Don't tell me. Oh, you can take the camera out. We've seen your third person animations. They are not good.
What should we do for E3 this year, guys? I know. Let's exploit our children.
Expose all of our children to the rigors of Twitch chat. That should be a war crime. Welcome to the Bethesda Conference. Unfortunately, due to our new embargo agreements, none of you will be allowed to talk about it until a week after this is finished, to ensure that everybody experiences it together. Here's a bunch of games that are out already. This bear is our new protagonist for Fallout 5. You know, I'd be actually entirely okay with that.
Yeah, you would.
I mean, they've pretty much given up on the dialogue options anyway, so why not have a bear that can't speak at all? Prepare for indoctrination here in Bethesda land. I would buy that cacodemon. Look at that cacodemon. Well, Bethesda has somebody working in PR.
No.
What does he do exactly?
Did you play a badass supernatural assassin in Dishonored 2? Or
No, because it didn't run properly.
And I know that many of you are still playing Fallout 4.
I have wounds.
Provide the kind of experiences you've been asking for, and the kind of
We've been asking for experiences. They're called Obsidian and Fallout. Make it happen.
You're not gonna let this go.
No, I waited how many years, and what happened?
Virtual reality dog! What else could we need?
Sure will be exciting to play Fallout 4 in VR.
I wasn't excited to play Fallout 4 when it was in
on a regular screen.
Yeah. And now it can suck in VR as well.
Told you, the bear protagonist.
Here we go again.
Oh no, it's the YouTuber thing again. Oh, you bloody ruined it. You were doing so well. Told you, bear's the protagonist. Magic in my Elder Scrolls game?
Never.
It's more likely than you think.
I gotta watch the bear again real quick.
Bear
This
is
all
protagonist.
about the bear.
Near limitless bear fantasies, it just didn't happen.
Oh, Thomas. Oh.
I don't trust that, Thomas.
Not everyone has taken the joyride that is the trip to Bethesda
Bow
land.
down and worship at the altar of Bethesda
Drink your
land.
Nuka-Cola. You will enjoy it. Yeah, when I go to a theme park, I want to play card games. How about you?
That's mostly what I do. I'll sit on a bench and play a bit of Plants vs. Zombies. They better not quote me in this bloody thing. Dramatic card gaming music. Yes, it is. Look at our static images. It's no Yu-Gi-Oh, I'll tell you that. I remember you in the mountains. Then we put a Master Sword in it. That's worth $60, right? Motion controller's like, whee! You're gonna throw one of those things across the room.
Yeah,
or
you're
gonna end up hitting it. I do not want to play Skyrim with motion controls. Bit of Dishonored, what we got? We're gonna get any DLC for this bloody thing? Wait, is that Dowd? That looks a bit like Dowd. Yep, it is Dowd. Called it.
We're gonna kill the outsider.
She never asked for this. Here's our Quake, by the looks of it.
I heard in order to be a professional gamer, all you need is to be able to get paid. Would you consider yourself a professional gamer, TotalBiscuit?
Professionally amateur.
We weren't born champions.
Oh, bloody hell.
We rise.
And we do it all in black and white, just so that way it looks stylish.
Well, of course. Can't take it seriously otherwise.
Oh, and now we show you the color. It's so Wizard of Oz. You weren't expecting it.
Didn't see it coming.
I am unstoppable.
You just got stopped.
It looks very similar to my stream gameplay. Your hit rate's about 10%. If you're an esports person, you need to get your shit together. They're
Like
putting BJ Blazkowicz in Quake Champions. Dual wield!
Esports, it is cringy as
Dual
fuck.
wield.
Who actually wants to look at or invest in esports when you make it look fucking cringy?
But dual wield!
Some parts of Bethesda Land have been under construction.
Here we go.
But now the work is nearly finished.
Well, when it comes to your games, I almost always assume they're permanently under construction based on how they launch. Enjoy glorious 35-degree FOV. What's the bloody bullet time nonsense? Is that a... This looks more like Quantum Break than Evil Within. There it is. 5 minutes of no gameplay whatsoever. There it is, running away from things. This is actually more terrifying than the footage we just saw. This is Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
It's New Colossus.
Yeah, it has to be.
Legal, help!
Yay, Mecha Doggy!
Can I just have this as like a full action-length film?
I'd watch the hell
I
out of
would
that.
watch that. Aww.
What in the actual fuck?
He just finished his E3 weekend. William, I told you not to go to E3.
I couldn't help it. The call of Bethesda Land, it was too much.
You think you're here?
She's back. Got a little bit Red Dawn with this thing by the looks of it.
Let me first make it absolutely clear that I am not a Nazi.
I am a futuristic EDM DJ. What? He looks like one. I'm just saying.
Mick Gordon music detected. I never asked for this either.
The world has sank into the crapper, and all we can do now is drink this whiskey and watch the vortex suck it all down.
I don't know. Maybe this is this timeline in real life. The blurring of reality.
You take freedom away from the American people, you're playing with fire. And I intend to pour some gasoline.
You can ride it.
Nice.
You can ride it. Closest we're getting to bear protagonist in Wolfenstein. Lovely.
Though.
What? It's dangerous. You have to be so quiet. We gotta go.
Well, that's when the LSD kicks in.
Yeah.
Reviews, presentations, and
bear protagonist!
Lobby.
It's right there.
Let's all go to the... No.
You can't hide it from me. I know it's there. Bear protagonist! It's right there. And offline. There it is, straight away. All
Wow.
right. They're not messing about.
I actually am kind of a fan of... I think that so far that's like my favorite conference from E3 so far.
It was
It's
packed.
to the point. It's not too much fluff.
No, it was definitely not. It was packed with what I imagine a lot of Bethesda fans wanted to see.
Bears.
Yeah. We got confirmation of bear protagonist in every upcoming Fallout game, which is excellent. There were no huge surprises. I mean, we called pretty much everything.
Yes.
Everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. No big surprises there.
No.
No show or really mention of Prey, which is a.
I mean,
it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? They're sort of ignoring that it exists.
I wouldn't expect. Well, they did show it like in the beginning compilation, of what's already out. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it would be too early for any kind of DLC to come out for it, but
probably, yeah.
I guess it just depends. I mean, with that many things coming out again in November, would you expect them to have something right away?
That November and October area is packed for them.
Yeah, which is typical for almost every developer.
Yes.
And console maker.
Yeah, that's absolutely rammed with some pretty major stuff that they want to do well. So I'm not, as you said, particularly surprised. The thing which definitely caught me off guard there was the creation guard, whatever the hell they called it, the paid mods, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Well, right, so the debate is that or is that not paid mods when you're dealing with stuff that is mostly either internally developed or licensed out to specific third-party studios? Do you count that as paid mods or just a lot of smaller DLC? What is that? Because compared to what they tried to do initially on Steam, which was a fucking disaster, that doesn't seem like anything near that.
Not sure.
Creation Club, that's what they're calling it. But it seems to me like it's more of a Valve workshop approach for their games, like say Counter-Strike and Dota, where they have community creators, they'll make stuff, it then has to get approved, and then it gets sold through their store. In this case, with Bethesda, you're kind of having the same situation and then sold for a smaller amount of money, which, that's not mods, really.
No,
like,
I mean, I guess because it's like, they have to vet everything.
If they've this was one of the main problems with the first attempt at paid mods. They didn't vet a fucking thing. So within 24 hours, they had stuff that was infringing on other people's copyrights up there, stuff that was stolen. The quality level was completely inconsistent. There was nothing really to say whether or not what you were buying would even work. If you're guaranteeing compatibility, you're curating, you're testing everything, you're approving or declining things on a individual basis, at that point, those are microtransactions, they're not mods.
Yeah, I agree.
As to whether or not, will they have a team to review them? I'd hope so. Because if they don't, it's going to come down to, when that thing comes out, what is the quality of the stuff that is on it? What do they release within the first wave? And is that indicative that they're actually testing it and curating it properly? If so, I have no problem with that at all.
I feel like we need more information.
We do, yeah. We need to squeeze...
that segment was so
It was quite short, yes.
And I feel like they did that on purpose because they knew it would rustle some jimmies, perhaps.
Yeah, I actually agree.
So, yeah. I feel like we need more information about how the entire process works.
Yes, I want to know, and I'm going to see if they have any... What do they call it? Curation Club? No,
yeah, it was a Creation Club or
Creation Club.
Something like that, yeah.
Was it? Yes. I'm trying to see if they have any details, if they maybe put out a press release or something like that about it. No, it's... All we basically know is the same, that, they'll work with outside guys. And apparently there's a link somewhere about it. Yes, okay. Here it is. Yeah. Creation Club is a collection of all new content for Fallout 4 and Skyrim. Fully curated, fully compatible, official add-ons. Who can make it? Who can make stuff? Who are they working with? Apparently, it's...
I mean, is it only their designated third-party
Can I become a creator? So here's the answer on their FAQ here. So whether you're a professional developer, artist, or modder, you can apply to be a creator here. So there's a link to apply. Be ready to share work you've already done as part of your application. Yeah, so they're actually fully vetting anybody that wants to be involved in this program.
Right.
You do get paid. So I assume you get a percentage. So right at the bottom, is Creation Club paid mods? No. Mods will remain a free and open system where anyone can create and share. We won't allow any existing mods to be retrofitted for Creation Club. Everything must be brand new content. The only
if you made something in the past and it's really cool and everyone's using it, guess what? Sorry, kids, you threw that money out the window.
The concern that people are going to have, of course, is that, oh, well, will mod makers go on and just do stuff for this now instead of maintaining their free stuff?
I think that some of them probably will if you get an opportunity to get...
And I'm entirely all right with that.
If you are creating things for the community, obviously it would be nice to get paid for your time.
Of course it would. Yeah, without question.
But on the flip side of that, as the actual gamer, it would also be nice to for you to have that peace of mind, knowing that will continue to be updated and vetted through Bethesda. That way, you're ensuring that mod will continue to work. And
if it's sold and they're looking to sell, you saw that Bethesda credits thing.
Right.
Which I'm not sure how you acquire those.
It's like, is that just their currency? Is that something that you can earn through maybe achievements?
Didn't they say something about earning it? Let's see if there's anything in the FAQ. Not by looks of it. Yeah, the FAQ is pretty sparse, honestly. They said something like that. Of course, Bethesda has its own launcher now.
Right.
And you could easily do the microtransactions through that. But then, if you do that, how the hell does it end up working with Steam? That would be difficult, to say the least. The interface we saw look very console-like. In fact, actually, I'm looking at the trailer right now, and what we see is left button and right button prompts at the top, so that it would indicate that that's console-related. I wonder how it's going to work through Steam, how it's going to work through anything else, really.
Not sure.
Hard to say. Is it like 100 credits per dollar? What I'm seeing in the trailer is like, there's the Dwarven Mud Crab is 150 credits. Survival mode is 500 credits. Whatever that means. They're already looking at selling, weapons and armor and stuff. For consoles, I mean, even for consoles, this is weird, though, isn't it? Because the quality of content you would need for someone to even bother buying this. Would I pay for a Dwarven Mud Crab? I can mod that. That's easy. You're going to have to create something. This is exactly what we said when they first tried paid mods. Something that's genuinely, actually worth paying for.
I'm even looking through Twitter. A lot of people are asking about this, like, how do I earn credits?
So supposedly it is in the FAQ, but I couldn't bloody find it.
Oh.
If that's true, I could not find it in the FAQ at all. I'm scrolling.
Are you elder scrolling?
Oh, sorry, I'm stupid. How do I get Creation Club content? In-game digital marketplace. Credits are available for purchase on PSN, Xbox Live, and Steam. Credits are transferable, can be used on both games on the same platform. All right, easy. So it's just
money.
It's Bethesda land bucks, basically.
Gotcha.
Like I said, they won't actually shift anything. They're going to have to make it good. I'd have said, hey, you can easily get people to spend money on consoles with that, but consoles have real mods now too. It's an interesting move. I think it's totally fine. I think it's reasonable for modders to be able to make money from their work. Very reasonable. If people are afraid they'll start working on free stuff, yeah, they might. They very well might. And what's the problem with that? Like, you expect them to work for free?
It's a good incentive to keep them going. I mean, a lot of modders come in, they make a mod, and then they end up leaving the scene because they go on to other things.
That's exactly what we said when we first had the debate on paid mods. Yeah.
So that is the peace of mind that you get as the consumer that, hey, this mod is actually going to stick around. It will continue to be updated. They will probably create ancillary things.
It's worth bearing in mind that because it's in-game, Bethesda then actually ends up having a responsibility to ensure that it continues to work. Whereas prior to that, with the first iteration, they totally did not. And I believe that would require, they'll put an onus on them legally, actually, to ensure that that works. Because it's within their game and they're buying their form of currency to buy it.
Right. And I think that's kind of one of the problems that modders might see with the whole vetting process is they're probably going to have to go on real hard just to make sure that this person is going to stick around. They are going to support this because otherwise you ain't getting paid.
Who has to update it and support it? That's the question.
It's like, does Bethesda just shut that entire mod down in the event that the developer for that mod just goes AWOL and it doesn't work?
I imagine if it eventually breaks, then yeah, they'd probably have to.
It's like, will they have to refund people for not being able to use the mod that they purchased?
These are all the questions that were asked the first time around.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying is I just feel like we need more information, and so I can't really comment on whether this is really a positive thing or a negative thing. I mean, anything that's
in principle it's positive.
Yes, but it has the very big potential to be negative depending upon how they implement it, how they vet modders. I think that's going to be a really important factor as to whether this is overall a positive or a negative.
Yeah, and ultimately what kind of content are we going to see that's even worthwhile? We know you can't repurpose the specifically rule against that.
Bear skins.
It's
lots of bear skins.
It's much harder to pull something like this off with a single-player game that already has full mod support versus something like Dota or Counter-Strike. And a lot of it is like, well, there's no prestige in buying any of these things. You can't show off a weapon skin to somebody. It would make a lot more sense if this was implemented into Quake Champions.
Well, as someone who plays single-player games, I'm just going to say, there are times when if you put 80, 100 hours into a game, sometimes it's nice for things to look pretty. Sometimes it's nice. Yeah,
but a lot of that's already available for free.
Sure.
I will say, of course, that on PC, that also gets around faffing about with a lot of installation and things like load orders. So being able to avoid that is quite nice. I wonder what's going to happen when you start to throw in the paid stuff with the free stuff and what breaks what.
Yeah.
That it's going to be a huge headache for them.
And of course, it's going to be a situation of, oh, I'm sorry, this free thing doesn't work for you. Well, it was free, so what do you expect? Go get a paid mod is what they're going to say to you.
Well, I don't even know if calling them paid mods is fair. Because I think at that point...
apparently they're not paid mods, but
at that point, it's just microtransaction content. It's downloadable content.
Right,
it just happened to allow third parties to develop that, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. We've seen, if anything, what the Long War devs could do with XCOM 2. They create some phenomenal stuff by working directly with the studio. And I don't see a problem with that. And you have to submit a goddamn portfolio to get accepted.
Yeah.
This is not just any old fucker can come along and upload an apple for $5. That's not going to happen.
Right, but there's nothing stopping someone, for example, who has already made a mod for a game, like Skyrim, and then they literally go and decide with the next Skyrim update that they're just not going to continue to update the free mod, and then they're going to go submit that.
Well, they can't submit it. It specifically says that they can't do that right here.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. They can't submit anything that already exists. They can't rework anything that already exists.
Okay.
It's got to be brand new content for the game. So that concern's sort of out of the window.
Okay.
The concern that they would stop updating their free stuff because they're too busy working on paid stuff is entirely legitimate.
Sure.
But as I've said before, you are not entitled to jack shit. Like, in that regard. The idea that modders should not be able to work... It's like saying... Because you're a programmer. It's like, what's the difference between a modder and a programmer at that point? There really isn't one. If you're creating content, you're just a third-party mercenary content creator for a specific game.
Well, not everybody wants to be compensated for sharing something with the community.
No, they don't.
And they don't
if they want to
have
make free stuff, more power to them. Just you can't expect people
and
to.
I think a lot of modders will still continue to do that just based out of principle, considering that they've always done it.
Yeah, and
otherwise, why would they?
That's exactly what they said the first time around
yeah.
on this one. This is a much, much better system.
As far as we can tell, I do not believe we have all the information necessary to make a judgment call on this.
No, because we haven't seen what kind of quality content that's going to be available there.
Right.
Because a lot of what I saw in that little trailer was like, there's no way I'd pay for any of this.
Yeah.
In a million years.
Well, while you're hung up on all of that, let's talk about the new Wolfenstein instead.
Looked great.
It looked amazing.
Looked fantastic. Again, it's very interesting that they seem to have taken it in a more lighthearted tone.
I believe that lighthearted bit was actually only for the purpose of concluding and wrapping up. I didn't think they wanted to end the conference pieces on such a down note, a negative note. So I think a lot of that is maybe engineering for the trailer or for the experience that we got. I don't know if that lighthearted
the tone will
carry throughout.
Compared to the tone on the trailers for the first one, it was very, very different.
Yes.
But
I don't imagine you can really derive much joy and happiness from a Wolfenstein game. That would be a bit weird.
I don't know. Looking at that one, I think I could get a great deal of joy and happiness from that. No doubt. People are asking if we're doing a Devolver. That's happening in 5 minutes.
Oh my.
You are not required to do that.
I know. We don't even have an idea of how long Devolver will be, do we?
No. They're also saying they're not announcing any new games.
Then
it's just it was just a showcase of shit that's coming out. No, maybe. Maybe.
You want to do it, don't you?
I don't know. It's on in 5 minutes.
How many people are watching it right now?
Well, I mean, we have 15,000 currently sitting on our stream.
Why are you guys here? What's happening? I guess Europe's awake.
Apparently. I don't know. It's really up to you. Because you're tired, I know that.
I'm tired.
You are exhausted.
As long as you guys don't hold it against me and tune out because I'm boring as fuck this late, then I'll hang.
I need to take a piss. We got a bottle around here.
Ew, gross. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to charge you like $5 DLC. I've been vetted through Bethesda to create this bottle. It looks like a Nuka-Cola bottle.
Oh, God. We could sell it.
And it's got rads,
we have 4 minutes to talk about the rest of the conference.
New Wolfenstein looks cool.
Right, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Doom VR, surprising. I'm loving the way that they seem to have integrated the teleportation into the actual game as an item.
Yeah,
That's
I need
really
to see
smart.
something else out of Fallout VR. I guess it's just traditional movement, and that's
which
fine.
will probably make me sick. I don't think I'm going to enjoy that. But
Evil Within 2 looks like it could be really good. I'm still concerned about performance and what it's going to look like on launch because, again, I have issues anytime that there are monsters and I'm supposed to be scared. And it's like, how am I supposed to be scared when you're like stuttering all over the screen? No, that's not going to happen. So
yeah.
I have concerns with that just because of what happened with the previous release.
Yes.
No Starfield, so sorry Reddit, I guess, and the rumor mill that surrounded it.
No mention of anything to do with Game of Thrones or anything. Dishonored 2 DLC, good to see that they're doing that. No gameplay, of course.
And that's kind of it.
That's pretty much it.
Yep.
It was a good conference. There was nothing unexpected in it, certainly, but what we did see looked very good for what it was.
Yep.
Again, the biggest debate's going to be over that damn marketplace thing.